Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, y'all.
It's just being the Joneses.
Mm,
Just
just
being
being
the
the Joneses.
Joneses.
Hey,
Hey.
just being the Joneses.
And we are back with episode 20 of season 2.
Mm,
And it's then we're going to take a break, like we take our little break or whatever, and
yeah.
then come back for a fresh new season with fresh new topics.
Yeah.
So, I know we talked about last time aging on our last, uh, or like things that come along with age, getting older and stuff like that on our last podcast, and I just was reminded of that because, but I'm pretty hot right now, so I'm gonna have to be fanning myself.
Yeah. Wish we had this fan on.
But
I turned the AC
so
down for you though, so it should be all right.
yeah,
Hopefully. Hopefully.
so we're gonna be talking about
Various topics.
various little. It's kind of like the same, but under the same umbrella. So like different is like embarrassing or the funniest or worst experience that we had with different situations.
Mm.
So you know that should be
Should be pretty fun.
a little giggle.
Should be pretty fun, yeah.
But one of the I'm pretty much like not really. I haven't. I get embarrassed and stuff like that, but then I don't necessarily be embarrassed to tell the story. You know what I'm saying about what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like in the moment of something, yeah, it's probably embarrassing, but or I might be mad because I got this bad experience going on at the time. But I'm okay with telling the story. But so the first one, what's the first one?
The first one we have is horrible dating experience or
Or
worst date. And I definitely got one for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this was quite a while ago when I was a young single airman in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the year. It's probably around something like 2005, 2006, something like that. Out in California. So I was seeing this one young woman, you know what I'm saying? And we were both in the Air Force together. And so we had been seeing each other for some time, maybe a few months. Yeah, it wasn't very long. It definitely wasn't serious either. We were just kicking it. And so my birthday rolls around and she wanted to take me out for my birthday. So okay, cool, yeah. So we did that. She took me to Sacramento, and I forgot what we ate at, but everything was nice. Everything was good. The evening just went well, and I was about to drop her off at her apartment, so she invited me up. Right. She invited me up to her apartment. So I was like, okay, yeah. I totally didn't even expect it. I was planning to drop her off and going home. So yeah. So we went up there, and I was up there for a little while, and then all of a sudden, and at this point it's like early in the morning, and all of a sudden somebody started banging on the door. I mean, like, I think they may have just been knocking at first, just to try to get in, just get her attention or whatever. But she wouldn't open the door, and so then the knock started turning into banging, and so I'm like, okay, here we go.
You talking about here we go like you done been there, done that or something. Like,
No,
here we go again.
No, I'm just saying one of those situations, one of those little life situations that you just, find yourself in and you ain't did nothing wrong. And so, I mean, this person was knocking for almost an hour.
Gosh.
Yeah, almost an hour. But
So it wasn't a guy?
It was a guy. It was a guy she was involved with. I
He
guess
knew she was up in there with somebody because he not that long.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he knew she was there. Maybe he saw a car and just assumed she was there. I don't know. But
He
after
should have
about
just pretended he was leaving and sat outside.
that's what I thought he did when the knocking stopped. And I said he was knocking for almost an hour, right? So yeah, he's knocking, and I'm just laying there like, oh my god, well here we go, you know. And then so I'm just trying to plan my exit strategy, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get back to my apartment, dog. So you know, after a while the knocking stops, and I waited till it stopped for quite a while. Probably about it was so long ago I forgot, maybe let's just say 30 minutes. Um, and I was like, "Are you sure he's not out there, or whatever?" You know, and she's like, "Yeah." I think she told me that he called from work on base,
Oh, okay.
from a landline. So I was like, "Okay, well, yeah, let me bounce." So I leave, and then I'm looking around every bush, I'm checking everything.
Think somebody gonna sneak you.
I'm checking everything out. Well, so I high step into my car, and shoot, beeline into my apartment. Which wasn't far. I mean, it was around the corner.
How old were you?
Like I say, I was probably about 25, 26. You know, just in the dating scene and all that. And yeah, and then the very next day, I think she told me about who he was and something. You know, they haven't seen each other, and I guess they was talking about getting back together. And I was just in the way or something. That's what she described. I forgot her exact words, but it seemed like I was just, I guess, in the way. And so I was like, well, I mean, I kind of liked her, and it kind of hurt. I ain't gonna lie, but I was like, hey, you know, she doing her thing, whatever. I mean, that junk happened on my birthday.
Another
like,
topic.
oh
What the
God.
worst birthday? You know?
Yeah, that's two rolling in one if you think about it. Worst date and worst birthday.
Yeah, you know what? Those situations like that, they be like in the moment they don't be funny. They be funny
Shoot,
later,
no,
but
don't
in the
be-
moment you don't know if you about to lose your life or what. Like if
Exactly.
somebody a psycho or they whatever. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Matter of fact, that might have been like the night before my birthday. Actually, now that I think about it. But still, though, my birthday.
Yeah,
It was pretty. I was scared. 'Cause, you know, people crazy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People crazy. You never know what
And
they're
he
gonna
knocked for an hour. That's kind
do. He
of
knocked a long time. I was like, oh my god! And I'm trapped in this little apartment.
trapped in the
You know what
closet.
I'm saying? In the closet. Yeah. And she
You
would've
should
said
have
it.
been saying, he's at the front, I'm at the back, she's at the front, I'm at the back.
He's at the front door, and he's still knocking, and I'm still laying here.
Yeah, we are two different songs.
Yeah. You sung the wrong song, baby.
No, I saw this song I meant to say. The one we always be playing around with. I wasn't trying to say trapped in the closet.
But yeah, that was crazy though. That was my story.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I honestly don't wish that on nobody. Shoot. Unless somebody is intentionally doing something wrong. Like I had no idea that was somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. You know, I thought, hey, you know, we kicking it.
So you
I wasn't
found
seeing
out
nobody
it was
else.
somebody.
I just assumed she
How long
was
were you
in.
talking to?
It wasn't long. It was only about a month or two. You know,
Oh.
it wasn't nothing serious. It was nothing.
I mean, that was long enough for her to tell you she had something going on with somebody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it was going to be that serious. If she knew he was like that.
Yeah. But,
Mm-hmm.
so I would say mine was, I'm gonna skip over the little couple of blind dates I had when I was like 19-ish, 18-ish, and just go straight to like more like adult.
Yeah.
But I would say, I don't know where I met this guy at now that I think about it. But I met this guy when I was in my 20s. So I met this guy, and first of all, I'm really not particularly, my preference is not necessarily like short guys, right? And when
Yeah.
I say short, I mean like shorter than me or even my same height, you know. But I met him. I was like, okay, you know, I see what heal about or whatever case may be.
Right. How short was
I'm 5'2".
So he was shorter than you.
I'm 5'2", so he was probably about my height. So I wore heels all the time then. So I'm always taller than him
an inch or two over
at that
him.
time. So anyway, when he said he wanted to take me out or whatever. So the first time that we went out, I didn't allow him to come to my apartment.
Yeah.
So I had him pick me up from my sister's house. And my sister, they go tag, whatever, tag number, whatever, verify who you really is. Let me see your driver's license, whatever. So anyway, we went out. Our first date, we went to Pizza Hut. Okay.
Right when Pizza Hut was good.
Right when Pizza Hut was good. So, and not too far from my sister's house. So, I'm like, okay, whatever. So then, I met up with him again, I think at my cousin's house, and we just kind of chit chatted or whatever outside, and then I met up with him again because I was at my brother's house one day, and he called me up and he said, "Hey," he said, "I just bought a new house, and I want you to go with me house shopping, right?"
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's sweet. He want me to go with him to buy some furniture and stuff. All right. So he come pick me up from my brother's house, and we go to Dollar General. So I'm like, okay.
Cleaning supplies.
Dollar General. So while we're in Dollar General, now mind you, we ain't been talking that long. I'm good with like public affection, show of affection and all that stuff, a display of affection, and if I really like you and all of this stuff like that. But also still, like, we was in Dollar General. He wanted to hold hands walking down the aisle slow in Dollar General.
Yeah.
Which was weird to me. And then asked me questions about, okay, so if you had to pick out this soap or that soap, which one of these would you buy? Okay, so me being the person I am, I'm picking the name brand little soaps or whatever, products or whatever he asked. And now he asked me this for different little variations and things.
Yeah.
So, I guess I got it wrong. Cause he was like, I was trying to see how like financially savvy you was as far as saving money and stuff like that. So you trying to see if I'm gonna get the soap that's 25 cents less than the other soap, and I'm like, what in the world kind of mess is this? First of all, I thought we was going to Harvey's or Rooms to Go or something. You know what I'm saying? We at Dollar General and you testing me on hand soaps and cleaning products or whatever in Dollar General. Like, we in Dollar General. Ain't nothing gonna be more than whatever it's gonna be. Whatever. Yeah. So
I mean, it's all cheap as hell. So what are you talking?
It's all cheap. And I'm like, my gosh. Now this also teaching me about him though, because I'm now realizing how cheap you are. And it's not. I'm not saying it's not nothing wrong with like pinching pennies or saving to get the cheapest thing. But we just started talking, and you taking me to Dollar General to ask me what I would get to see what my financial sense is as far as like if I'm gonna get this soap, this $1.25 or $1. No. It was kind of annoying, but anyway.
He like, see, you chose Dial, but you should have chose soft soap.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. It was like he was judging me for picking the particular soap. Like, for real. Yeah. Either way, they all in the same cost. They both under $2.
Yeah,
so
all of that cheap.
So then, we left Dollar General. Didn't go nowhere else to look for no furniture, house stuff. So we went back to he dropped me back off.
Yeah. So
then, like, he was like, telling me he missed me and all of this stuff like that. And he always was telling me that. So I was getting annoyed by him telling me that, because you don't, like, how? You know what I'm saying? I guess because we had already been talking for like we had only been talking for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
And so every time you talk to me, you're telling me that you miss me, da da da. And maybe I was annoyed because the soap situation or the Dollar General or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. And then you already short, so I'm trying to, work with that. So, um, he, I was talking to him one day, and I was like, yeah, because one of my kids, I had to call like the ambulance because he was having some trouble breathing or something was happening.
Yeah.
So he called me, and then he was like, oh, how you doing, whatever, whatever. And then so I was like, oh, I had to do that, telling him about me having to call the ambulance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For my child, whatever. And he was just like, oh, okay, I miss you. Like, he didn't say, how your child doing? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, is he okay? He asked absolutely nothing, and I was like, okay, I got 2 kids. So if I'm talking to somebody, that was the final turn off for me, pretty much. It was, because I was already trying to overlook certain things that I already wasn't I didn't really care for.
Yeah.
But he was just like disregarded. It was almost like I didn't say anything about the fact that that's how my day went. Like, I had to actually, my son, something was going on with my son.
Yeah.
And he didn't inquire about it. He didn't ask if he was okay. None of that. So I was like, okay. So I snapped on him and went off about like the fact that I just told you my son, da da da, and all you could respond to that was I miss you. Like, you didn't even ask me how he was doing or nothing. So I just cut him off. I just feel like that. Like, I was like, that was a waste of my time. Them few weeks, however long because. Why? No, but I never let him come to my house, so he didn't know where I lived.
Okay, yeah.
But I was getting the vibe that that's not somebody I want to show where I live at this point. You know what I'm saying? He was like very much like almost like you like, I don't know if it was because I hadn't grown to like him like that yet, but it seemed like his pursuing was more annoying.
Yeah.
It was on that annoying level. Like, you was kind of like, if I didn't answer the phone, it was like, well, why you didn't answer your phone? Like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, all of this stuff. So I'm like, we ain't been talking this long. We ain't been in a place for you to be like drilling me.
Yeah.
You drilling me about my phone calls. You drilling me about what type of soap I'm gonna use. Like, it just gave off controlling to me too. So I was just like, no. So I was like, I saw them red flags right away. But I mean, that was like I would say that wasn't a worst situation that happened with me talking to somebody, but it was if I want to say dating, because if I want to say dating,
yeah,
I would say that I was trying to see if we went out on those little, I guess couple dates or whatever, talking to see if we was gonna maybe move forward or something, right. Which ended quickly, but yeah.
Well, I hope he ain't still trying to take girls to Dollar General nowadays.
Well, I hope he ain't.
You can't, because some chicks don't even want to go to Cheesecake Factory on their first date. So if you trying to go to Dollar General.
And at that time, like, to me, this was a long time ago. So therefore, us saying, okay, let's go get some pizza, to me that wasn't a big deal.
Right.
And even now today, like, if I was dating somebody or something and they was like, hey, what you doing? You open to, you open to going and let's go get some pizza or something? I don't care about that. Like, I ain't like, you gotta come take me on the first date and spend $100 on my meal, know, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, we could split a pizza,
Because you wanted a good girl.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because first of all, what if he would have spent all that money on me? I didn't even like him like that on the first date. I didn't really like him like that. And then he took me to Dollar General talking about he wasn't going to spend no money anyway, obviously. Because you was in a whole struggle about if I picked the right soap or not. And I'm like, okay, so what is he trying to see? He was like, I just got to make sure the person that I'm going to be with know how to make good choices when it comes to spending money. And I'm like, okay, well, this Dollar General ain't the place to do that. It really ain't. It was just so weird.
He ain't trying to buy no Dove. He want thrifty suds. That's what he wants.
That's crazy. But yeah,
No, that is something
that
very
was
interesting.
the most annoying person that I would say that I probably talked to when I was like trying to date or whatever.
I remember you brought up that situation about somebody who didn't show any concern for your son when he was,
Yeah,
you
that was
know.
the
I
worst
remember
part
that.
of it,
Yeah,
to be
I remember
honest.
you told me that several times, and I was like, oh shoot, okay, that's who he is.
That was the worst
That was
part of it. Like even the Dollar General stuff or whatever, wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was the fact that you was just like, um, I didn't say nothing. Like I said, telling you, it blew my mind because I'm like, you're trying to get to know me, and you trying to see what type of person I am as far as if I'm gonna choose the soap that's a 25 cent higher. But then if I mention something about my son
mm-hmm.
or whatever, and that it was a medical situation that went on, and the fact that I had to call
Yeah.
911, you didn't even inquire about his well being, and
And
that was a huge turnout for me. That was it.
I mean, if I'm honest, that would be a turn off for me too. Because if I was in that situation and I'm like, hey, you know, a chick called me, hey, I got my kid, you know, I had to call 911, you know, and she like, oh well, I miss you. Can I come? What?
Yeah,
Girl, did you just hear me?
right, exactly. I'm like, really? So no. So the
So I
next,
get it,
I mean, it wasn't quite as dangerous as your
yeah.
first date or whatever, but it was one of my worst.
I'm glad you ain't experienced
First,
that.
nah, I don't think. Yeah, no. So the next one was like a work experience. So whether it was a horrible work experience, whether it was an embarrassing work experience, or whether it was a funny work experience. So I'll go first this time. So I would say this was end up being funny, but it was like embarrassing for me. So I worked at when I was like 17. I worked at McDonald's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they was having the little spring break thing at the Jacksonville Beach
Yeah.
at the time,
Yeah.
and I was dating my kid's dad. I didn't have no kids at the time, but I was dating him at the time, and my two oldest ones. So they were having a little spring break thing, and I tried to get off that Saturday, but I couldn't get off. So what I did the night before was I went to work and I told um my supervisor
Mm-hmm.
that I lost a family member. Now somebody did die. Somebody that the my kid's dad was new,
Yeah.
but I wasn't planning on going no service. I didn't even know the person. So I said somebody died, and so I said like the whole night I was just walking around. I'm dragging.
Yeah.
I'm all sad. I'm keeping this sad countenance, like
Sad and phony.
yeah, yeah. I was just like, oh, like woe is me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in grief.
You're like, Jumba. I miss him. I miss him.
Whole time. So my work shift get over, and so my supervisor was there. This my whole shift. So my work shift get over, and my mom come pick me up, and I get in the car. My mom said, "You told them somebody you had a loss in your family." I looked like what? She said, "Yeah." She called me. Your supervisor called me and asked me about it or whatever. Now, whole time, my supervisor know I'm walking around work acting all sad. She letting me do this, knowing I lied.
Yeah.
Now I done told a lie, and you just gonna let me just get here and be sad all night. I could have enjoyed my shift had she said I called your mama.
Yeah.
And she said that nobody died. So I had to take my behind to work the next day. And my friends came and picked me up when I got off work. in that afternoon, and we did go to, because I went in that morning right to the afternoon, and we went to the beach thing. But I was so embarrassed because I'm like, why did they let me sit here? She let me mope the whole night. So basically, I just lied the whole night.
The whole night.
And she knew.
Just walking around phony the whole night.
I was like, this some messed up junk, boy. I was so embarrassed.
I bet.
And then my mama, now my mama know I done lied. Now because later I called her. I said, boy.
I bet she was cracking up the supervisor. I bet she was behind your back. I bet she was like, look at her. She probably told other people about it. Look at her. Ain't nobody died. She was walking around here like it.
Oh my gosh, that was so crazy.
My embarrassing work experience. I'm gonna go to embarrassing because this what came to mind first. And it could have been funny if you saw it. It was in Afghanistan, and I was one of the squadron mail couriers, meaning I would have to go pick up the mail from the base post office and bring it back to the unit. And it could be a lot of mail, a lot of packages, because there's a lot of people in the unit. And of course, you got everybody want to send care packages. And so I had a big truck, not like a semi, nothing like that. It was what we in the military call a deuce. It's called I think it's called a deuce and a half. That's like the nickname for it. But one of those big military trucks. So it's full of mail. I mean, full of boxes, full of mail. You know, and so there were these straps that I put over it, and so over the packages and everything. So somehow I'm riding down the street, and somehow it came loose. The strap came loose, so mail started flying out the truck. Packages were falling off the side, you know, stuff like that. So I know people looking like, what in the world is going on? I had stopped traffic, you know, for people around me looking, because I mean, nobody.
And you out there running around picking up paper off the ground?
Mail, like boxes, packages, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like letters and envelopes. That stuff was inside the truck, but on the back of the truck, you know, it had all the packaging and stuff like that.
That's one of the, that's crazy.
That jump was so embarrassing because I had a hard time getting that stuff back up in there, and plus
Did anybody get out and help you?
No. He was going around me and looking like.
You was on the base doing a deployment. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody could have pulled over and helped.
Full-time war, and nobody wanted to help. But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. I mean, I eventually got everything together and everything, and so got the mail back to the unit safely, and nothing was damaged. But that jump was so frustrating and embarrassing.
Man.
I mean, my God.
You know what though? That's like, that's crazy, because that's like one of my worst, not my worst feel, but something that I always feel happening sometimes. Like if I was, I always say if I was riding something or taking something, transporting something on like a pickup or something.
Yeah.
I would not want that falling out. I would be so, you gotta stop. You gotta go in the road and pick that junk up. No.
That junk's so embarrassing.
Like this, I was riding behind somebody one time, and a truck fell off of a chair fell off of their truck. I'm glad it didn't hit my car.
Glad it didn't. Yeah.
That's why I like riding close up on stuff too, when they carrying stuff, because you never know.
Yeah,
but
that's right. You never know.
But man, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. Well, the person might not be embarrassed, but I would have been.
Yeah.
So.
And the people might not even known it was mail. They probably thought it was just some random, I don't know, whatever. But it was mail.
Shoot, regardless of what it is, you got to be in the middle of the street picking up crowd, stopping traffic.
I had to pull over. Yeah, traffic was. I had to pull over, find a little spot to pull over, and then pick up the mail, get everything back strapped down right, and I'm watching. Of course, you know, when I'm back in the truck driving it, I'm watching to make sure. I'm still a little nervous because I'm like, what if it happened again, you know? So, yeah, it was just not a fun time. It was not fun.
Yeah. So, the worst travel experience. Do you have any?
Yes. Any military deployment I've been on was the worst travel experience. Because let me tell you something. The military is all about hurry up and wait. They will rush you to a line or rush you to a room to make you wait 2 hours.
Mm.
I mean, you rushing to
So you
like
gotta
you
rush
think
just
you
to
rushing
sit
to
there.
get ready. Like, okay, we grabbing our bags. They saying come over here, so we about to pull up chops and go. You could be there for 3 or 4 hours if you're lucky.
So it could be very long travel. So
Very
you
long
ain't
travels.
like traveling like that.
I don't mind long travels, but it's just that like when it's unorganized like that, and you would think something like the organization like the military, the U.S. government got it together.
Yeah.
Especially by now, like y'all do this year round every year, and it gets better every year. And this is where it's at.
Yeah.
This is the best it is right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? It was just but yeah, that is my worst travel experience because it was just very frustrating, and sometimes it could be you might be in somewhere with no AC. You know what I'm saying? Just standing outside because they say, hey, just wait right here. We outside in the desert. Come on now, uniform on with bags by our feet, or wherever.
Yeah.
Come on now, this is the best y'all can do.
Yeah.
After all this time, my last one was Afghanistan, 2017 when I went over there, and yeah, still
The same.
my goodness, hurry up and wait. And that joint is so.
Yo, come on.
Yeah.
Now wait here. For 3 hours.
We don't check on things, so wait right here. 3 hours later.
Man,
Shoot.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But my travel experience, like the worst one that I had, was when I had to fly to Louisiana to. First of all, that was only like my third time flying by my third time flying by myself, and I was scared to fly already.
Yeah.
Shoot, that was my last time flying by myself too, because I've actually got on a plane, scared as I was, to fly to Louisiana a few times, but I guess they said what you do for the D, I guess. So anyway, I was flying we was married and already, and you were leaving Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so the people was there, gonna move us, get your stuff, all that stuff. And then during that time I was traveling. So I was coming from Jacksonville to Louisiana because I needed to drive the truck back to Jacksonville, and you drive the car or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I got to the airport in Jacksonville. It was some bad weather, so they delayed my flight in Jacksonville. Was delayed, but I had a connecting flight in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, they was like, yeah, you should still make it to your flight in Atlanta, whatever. But we know how the Atlanta airport is. First of all, when you get there, you ain't really got no time if your layover time is short, you ain't really got time to sit on the plane and wait for everybody to get off. And you gotta be, but you got to. So anyway, the flight, we left Jacksonville, we got to Atlanta. By the time we got to Atlanta, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so close to my flight leaving. My flight was it's the evening time. My flight was leaving at like 9:30.
Yeah.
So, I got to the gate at like right around that time, or right before that time, or whatever. It was early. It was before the flight actually was supposed to leave. It was only like maybe 10 minutes early though. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of made it there like maybe 10 minutes. And when I got there, the guy was like, well, you can't get on because they already done closed the doors and all this stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I mean, I still got a few minutes for the flight leave, because if everybody or the majority of the people get on the flight, they may pull out early. But my thing was, y'all knew that I had a connecting. Y'all knew that people had a connecting flight from this flight that was delayed, for real. Yeah. So it was the last. Flight, because it was late. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't get another flight out that night. I didn't have my cell phone charger.
Mm. Oh my God.
The stores was closed in the airport to buy a charger. I had to go to the desk or whatever, and they was like, well, we got a shuttle bus, we could put you up in the hotel, really a motel. So I'm like, okay, it's nighttime. I gotta get on this. My phone about to die.
Yeah.
First of all, I was calling you too when I was at the airport, and that like I started crying because you wasn't answering the phone. Like I was not crying because you wasn't answering the phone. I was crying already, but I got madder because you wasn't answering the phone, so I cried harder. So I'm already crying because I missed my flight and I'm scared and I'm by myself. And I gotta get on this shuttle to be taken to this motel, or whatever. And my phone about to die, and I'm like, so I remember calling both of our mamas, and I was crying. And they was like, "You calm down, calm down." Yeah. I was like, "If Boss not answering his phone, da, da, da." But at the time, you were saying that I guess you was doing stuff or whatever, trying to get out the apartment or whatever, trying to do whatever you was doing. So I was pissed at the fact that I missed the flight, the fact that you were answering phone, all that. So then I gets on this shuttle. I'm trying not to look like scared because I'm on the shuttle. It ain't no women on here. It's only men. And this shuttle take us to this motel. Then I'm in my head. I'm like, okay, everybody on this shuttle know I'm by myself. Whatever. So that's another thing. It's nighttime, and then it's the kind of motel where your room is like on the outside.
Oh shoot.
Your door is on the outside. So
that's the moat.
Well, that's how motels are. Yeah. But so, I mean, it was just a horrible, like, I hated it. And then, so I just had to wait till the next morning. It was nothing at that point I could do about it. I had to wait till the next morning, which we did. Of course, you ended up calling me back. But before my phone died, I still didn't have a charger. And so the next morning, I got to the airport, I think I bought a charger from the thing. And then I made it on there, which put us behind some, because I think we were supposed to get up early that morning and start the drive, but you had to wait on me to get there at that point. And at that point, you was in a hotel yourself because you turned in a key to
moved out of the
apartment and stuff like that. But that was horrible.
That was.
That was so stressful. I was like, how I'm already scared to fly. Then for me to be in the middle, and that situation is one of the reasons why to this day I like to travel early, because if something happened in the morning, at least it's light outside, or at least I got a better chance of getting another flight out that day or something like that, versus having to wait till the next day to get a flight out and all this stuff like that. So I think that is one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't want to do no red eyes. I don't want to do nothing, no evening flights unless I really have to. Give me the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. flight. So if something happened, go wrong, anything delayed, I got a chance that I'm going to leave and get another flight that day or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
that's horrible. I mean, that's bad for anybody.
Mm-hmm. So I hated it.
Especially like if you are, like you was pretty much new to flying. That was, you say, your third time flying solo.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Because the other ones, and I also like straight flights and stuff too. Now I like straight flights. I try to look for a straight flight on whenever we fly. Yeah. And it's for another one of the reasons too is because it messed with my ears so bad. So I be wanting to make sure that I don't have to keep going up and down in the air.
Yeah.
So
I understand, because that don't be hurting.
Yeah. So worst cooking experience.
I'll say recently, and this happened to me a couple of times actually. I grill. Sometimes I grill seafood and crab legs. If I grill seafood, more than likely, you're gonna buy some crab legs for me to grill. And so, I hate when this happens. I hate it so much. But if I leave the crab legs on the grill too long, the meat shrinks up, and it'd be like crab jerky. Because it'd be like tough.
At least it's just for me. If you was trying to serve it to somebody, like.
Well, it's for us. That's still a waste. So as simple as it is, sometimes I just mess that junk up. It's been like at least 2 times I know for sure I messed that up.
Yeah.
And I hate when that junk happens, because it's just
that's
like such a waste.
That's good that's your worst, because I think my worst one is when I actually had to prepare a meal for people that day was a whole bad day for me. So everything came out bad. I think everything but one thing. So I was like, so we was like, okay, we had a couple of friends come
Yeah.
for like Friendsgiving. We said we was gonna do a Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
So a couple of friends was in town. So we was like, okay, you know, we had planned for them to come over, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna just cook some, you know, food and it simple stuff. But then I did, you know how they say, don't cook something new on your first time serving it to people.
Yeah.
So I did do one of my dishes that was a new that I had never did before. Caught myself doing some seafood rice, right?
Yeah.
And the rice didn't turn out right. You know how the rice turned out like mushy or whatever. So that's how that ended up turning out. And then I overcooked the string beans. I messed up everything. You don't remember that? Every single thing seemed like it was messed up. Like it was when we did the fruit Friendsgiving. And or whatever. And I was like, okay, so if you normally, this was my first time cooking for them.
Yeah.
So I know they probably think I can't cook. Because that was my first and only time cooking for them.
And we were here.
And everything, yeah, and so everything was messed up. Like I didn't like nothing. So what I started to do was just throw everything away and be like, I'm just gonna go to Publix and we just gonna have some Publix food. But for real, I was like, I think maybe the chicken probably was the only thing that probably came out right. Yeah, I want to say I might have cooked chicken or whatever. But everything came out wrong. And me, I have to concentrate when I cook. Like, I can't, like, be doing other stuff because I will forget what I got going on in the kitchen. And then next thing I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Like, when I be messing up lima beans sometimes. It's because I go in there, I'm checking it. If I don't consistently keep in my head or if I get caught up into doing something and get engrossed in something, I'm going to forget. And I'm going to be like, oh, shoot, my beans. You know, something like that. But that day, I guess I felt like I hate to cook when I'm busy and I got other stuff going on because then I tend to be like, I can't concentrate. I like to be able to concentrate on what I'm doing.
Focus on that.
On that. And so when I tell you, I was like, how you, I literally messed up almost all the food. I said, my goodness, this is not a good first impression for food. But
it couldn't have been too bad because I don't even hardly remember. I remember you messing something up, but I don't remember like everything.
No, I think I messed up at least. I had to mess up at least 2 or 3 out of 4 items or something. I don't know. I feel like everything was messed up except one thing. I do remember one thing in particular that saying that at least I didn't mess this up, but I don't even know what that was. I can't remember. But it was just like crazy. Like I hate that because I was like. So they probably don't even think I could cook now. But oh well. I don't care.
I'm sure we still told her.
But I think that was like my worst one because out of all the stuff that I have messed up, I've never, it wasn't like a meal that I was like making for people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have messed up something because I'm finna take this little pie or something that I'm finna take let me try this new thing and I'm gonna take it to Thanksgiving with my family and this ain't come out that well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it might be something like that. I don't care about that. But it's like I'm preparing an actual meal and a lot of times if you eating for somebody, I know me personally, if I go and somebody prepare me a meal, if everything is bad, I'm probably gonna assume that they can't cook too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The impression.
But it wasn't because it tastes bad. It was because it wasn't because I didn't know how to season my food, nothing like that. It was just like this was overcooked. This rice ended up being mushy because how I did the seafood stuff or whatever. That product, I never tried that again.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't. I mean, I bet you if I tried it without help and it's just us, that mother would come out banging.
Well, you need to do it again then. Seafood rice sound good.
But it was a lot of work. But anyway, I think I remember it being a lot of work. But maybe just because I was cooking a lot of stuff that day anyway.
Probably would have, yeah.
But yeah, it was just I was just like, oh my gosh. But I don't know. I don't like to cook. But I can cook and I do cook.
Oh, you do? You can cook.
So.
And I love when you do cook.
But baby.
I'll be like, dang, I gotta stop and get something to eat. She cooking tonight. God dang. Well, I told her she ain't gotta worry about it.
Oh my
Now I'll be looking
goodness.
forward to when you cook.
I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was my verse.
Mm-hmm. I thought you was gonna say that lopsided cheesecake you made.
Oh no! When I made that lopsided cheesecake, that lopsided cheesecake was
But it was
good.
hidden.
It just looked
Oh
ugly.
my God!
It's,
When I tell you it was hidden.
same thing happened with my cake that stuck to the pan. Pan went
Yeah.
on. Remember, I made that cake the first time. That
Yeah.
mug came out perfect.
Yep.
It came out perfect.
Nice
Everything
pound
was
cake.
just for me and you and whoever else lived here. And then made it again because some friends was coming.
The friends.
The cake stuck to the pan at the top, so the top part kind of came loose a little bit. And I was like, they ate that cake, they tore it up though.
Yeah,
they was like, I don't care. How, they said, I don't care how this cake look. It's good.
Yeah.
They tore it up.
That be me. I mean, as long as it tastes good, I don't care. I'm all about taste. I mean, presentation is cool, but it's a distant second compared to taste for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's human though.
good.
Everybody done made, even the best cooks
yeah.
done messed up food before.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like,
and
that
I
just
don't mess up other stuff too. So I mean, shoot, I feel you.
But that's just what's crazy to me. And I mean, I would have been okay with saying, okay, y'all, we could just go ahead and order some pizza or something. They ain't say nothing. I could tell they was looking like, what the heck? But I would have said something if it was my first. Like if we was that cool. If I didn't want to eat it or something.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you had a bad. I had already said I had a bad day in the kitchen. So, but yeah. Yep. So, so those was a few of our little embarrassing moments or just worst type moments. Of things going on. Yeah. I got so many words. We would have been here all day without talking about my.
Goodness, me too.
But boy, okay, so maybe another time we'll talk about some more.
Yeah. We'll do a part 2.
But so we about to take a little break here. So we'll probably, what's this, May?
May, yeah.
Yeah. So we really haven't even discussed the break length yet. It's normally like a month or 2 sometimes. So, but just catch our other episodes in the meantime. Catch up on those or go back and re-listen to some of them and comment and stuff like that. Or whatever, and if you're listening on YouTube, we enjoying the comments that we get on there.
Yeah.
And it's just been the Joneses. Thank y'all for coming for listening to our podcast, and we hope that you come back and listen to more when we come back for season 3.
All right, thank
y'all. It's just been the Joneses. We out.